Hi, how are you? Welcome back to the True Channel, full of elegant dialogue and adult conversation, and where I don't learn my lesson over and over again. I'm gonna cut to the chase. This channel is full of me undergoing lots and lots of bullshit with very little upside, and more often than not, it's because of a girl. So today, we will be watching some of my most problematic stories, and most of them have to do with me fumbling for a girl or getting myself into something stupid for a girl. I cannot express to you enough that these situations are not to be mimicked in any way, shape, or form. These instances were performed by a professional asshole. This story takes place during my junior year of high school, which I think to this day is probably the best year of high school for me. Due to my black genetics, my voice was much deeper than it had previously been. My sense of fashion was also at an all-time high, and thanks to my many years of being at the bottom of the food chain and nothing but sheer determination, I gained the innate ability to be friends with anyone. Everybody loved me. I don't like to use the word, but I think I would have considered myself popular at the time. And despite the way that I used to be, around this time of my life, I was really good with girls. And I'm not even gonna lie, it probably did help my case that I was black going to a predominantly white school, because those white girls were curious. Mix that with the fact that I had the hormones of a dog in heat, and the fact that I just discovered the deeper parts of Pornhub. And somehow when I look back on this, I still think of it as one of the better parts of my life. But I'm sure by now, you guys already know, that's usually the moment before shit goes wrong. But out of all the girls that quote unquote liked me from my school, my two favorite would have to be these girls named Taylor and Mariana. Taylor, of course, being this super cute white girl with blue eyes. If I were to describe her personality, she's very much so like Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. And Mariana was the spiciest, thickest little Latina. She had an attitude problem and nobody could tell her anything. And on top of that, she fucking hated me. She hated my guts. Like, I would love to sit here and tell you that she liked me or that we were chill or, you know, at the very least friends, but she didn't want anything to do with me. She didn't want to laugh at any of my jokes. Meanwhile, Taylor was laughing it up. We were like good friends, but Mariana, she dissed my outfits. She would blow up at me whenever I said hi to her in the hallway. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I loved every second of it. I don't know, I like it when a girl exhibits a certain amount of fire. I love it. I want you to punch me in the face. I want you to squeeze me between your thighs and keep me on a leash. I low-key sound like a masochist. I swear to God, I'm not weird. I just liked passion at the time, and Mariana was full of it.
Nigga, you're trying to bag Mariana? Man, she's the school of thought. There's no way she's giving you that much trouble.
Why do people call her a thought anyway?
Word on the street is she was dating this guy, and long story short, him and his older brother ran the train on her.
Doesn't really seem like something she'd do. Do you believe this?
Hey, I'm not saying I 100% believe this, but it is what it is.
God damn it. Okay, so after hearing that, I'm like, I'm a lot less inclined to pursue this girl, right? Because I've already dated a thought in the past, and that shit does not work out well for you. I'll put the link to that in the video, and go check it out if you want to. It's a good way to support the channel. Speaking of, another great way to support the channel is checking out my new merch store. I'm not about to shove it in your face right now, but more details at the end of the video. So I went to a school that had buses that took all the kids home after school. But while you were waiting for your bus, you had to wait in the parking lot. And this girl is just standing out in the crowd, right? And I do mean she is standing out. Like, she looked so good standing out there in that I don't know what it is about the summer heat, but I think it makes girls look better. And the heat and the way it's like hitting their body, that kind of makes them glow a little bit. She was looking all good with the chesticles and the ass was poking out and stuff. I look at her and I'm like, all right, you know what? That's it. I have had enough of you teasing, because you know what you're doing right now. I went up to her and I'm like, you know what? I know you don't like me. I don't quite know why, but I'm really ready for this shit to end between us. So if you give me your number, I promise you that by the end of this, I will win you over and we will be friends. And the way she looked at me, I could tell like nobody had ever like outright approached her like that. So she reluctantly says,
Sure.
and you know what? I will 100% take that answer. So after that, we don't text each other for a whole like 3 days, right? And at this point, I honestly forgot that I had even asked for her phone number. So I was kind of surprised when she hit me up saying,
What are you up to right now, idiot?
I respond like, nothing much. It's like a fairly normal conversation at this point, right?
Same. So, is it true what they say about tall guys?
And I'm just thinking, I don't know what they say about tall guys. Like, I don't know what do you want from me? I put this on my fucking life. This girl says,
I just want to know if it's bigger.
now, this caught me off guard. What do you, like, how do you respond? Up until this point, the only thing I know about this girl is that she fucking hates me with a burning passion. She wanted absolutely nothing to do with me, and now she's asking me about my penis size? I'm like, okay, maybe she's just trying to break the ice, and this is like the most forward question she can think of to break the ice between us. So I'm like, okay, I will help you break the ice. What the fuck? I guess, like, why are you asking me this? Like, this is kinda unlike you. So, some time passes without an answer, and then she suddenly FaceTimes me. And, like, just looking at her, I can tell that something was very much so off about her. So I'm just like, are you okay?
My parents are out for tonight and they left booze behind, so I might have had a few drinks.
Exactly how much did you have to drink?
Honestly, no lie. I always thought you were so cute. The way you make everyone laugh is super adorable.
Thank you. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, if she's drunk, she seems to be one of those honest drunks like me. Like, when I get drunk at a party, I just start blabbing the truth off to everybody.
If I you, I would make sure I'm the best you've ever had.
So now would be just as good a time as any. It might be the best time, actually, to ask her about those rumors that I heard. So those rumors that people are...
I can't believe this is still even a thing. No, I didn't do that. That asshole made up that rumor when I broke up with him.
Oh, well that's actually pretty good to know.
You should come here. I'm super bored.
Are you sure you want to invite me over there? I thought you hated me.
Do it before I change my mind.
Bro, please tell me you came through.
There's no way he didn't. Because if a girl said that to me, it can only mean she wants man's dick.
I told you to stop getting high before you come over here. So now, my train of thought is, okay, I can either be the guy who's there while she's drunk, or she can call up another guy and he can be over there while she's drunk. Because I know for a fact that this girl is not in short supply of finding guys to hang out with. I really had no idea which one to choose at this point. But then I remember what's possibly one of the greatest and smartest movie quotes of all time.
You know when you hear girls saying like, I was so shit-faced last night, I shouldn't have fucked that guy. We could be that mistake!
So I somehow convince my dad that I'm going over there to study, and I have him drop me off. Pull up outside her house, and I'm like, True, what the hell are you doing right now? This could very well be some kind of prank.
OMG, you're actually here!
And it just becomes blatantly clear at this point that Mariana has not stopped drinking. I'm at like a mixture of relieved and annoyed. I'm relieved because, okay, I get to be the guy over here with her right now. And annoyed because, look, all my female subscribers, I love you, but girls are the most annoying to be around when they are drunk. So I go into the front room of the house.
Look who else came!
And I see that Taylor is also in the house.
Hey.
That's when I start to put two and two together and have my first theory about what's going on. It's no secret that Taylor likes me. So to this day, I still think the reason Mariana invited me over there was to get me to like Taylor more than I liked her. But part of it still didn't make sense, because if Taylor was the one that liked me and Mariana wanted me to like Taylor instead, then how come Taylor didn't hit me up flirting instead of Mariana? The theory has a few holes in it, but that was still my primary theory. The three of us stood there talking for a little bit before Mariana's brother ended up calling.
Yo, little sis, I'm stopping at Mickey D's. Do you want something?
No, I just ate, so I'm good.
And I'm thinking, okay, so she has a big brother. Yeah, something tells me he does not want me here right now.
You know what would be super fun? Let's play Spin the Bottle.
Okay, so you've been drinking too.
Wait, let's all go upstairs before my brother gets back.
So we go upstairs, we're chilling in Mariana's room, and we're playing the most one-sided game of spin the bottle ever. Taylor keeps spinning the bottle, and if it lands on Mariana, they don't want to kiss because they're friends. And if it lands on me, it's like, oops, well, I guess we gotta kiss, I don't know. The only other person you can kiss in this game is me, since you don't want to kiss each other. And this cycle repeats basically for a while. They'll spin the bottle, it'll land on me and Taylor, we'll kiss. They'll spin the bottle again, it'll land on Taylor and Mariana. They don't want to do nothing for some odd reason. We could be watching two girls kiss, but they playing. And for some reason, throughout this whole night, it's not happening for me. It's just not landing on me and Mariana like I want it to. Yo, it's getting late. I should probably go home anyway. She gives me a look that says, dude, loosen up. She literally grabs the bottle and points it at me, and she's like inching towards me ever so slightly, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And at this point, right, she's so close to me. These lips are about to be mine. This is the moment that things happen. This is the moment.
What the hell? Why is the door locked, Mariana?
This is the moment that her brother interrupts me. The guy is furiously banging on the door for Mariana to open it, and every second that goes by that door is not being opened, he gets angrier. I just remember thinking, I need to leave this place right now, because as someone who has a little sister, I definitely know how he's gonna react when he sees me in her room. Big brothers are mad protective when it comes to their little sisters.
Whoever's in there needs to leave right now.
I'm just like, why don't you go talk to him? There seems to be a small chance that he's upset right now. She went out there, they started arguing, and I got the f*** out of there. I walked for like a block or two, and I came across an empty playground, and I texted my dad. I'm like, yo, you gotta come get me. I'm done studying for today, Dad. I'll never study again. That story was a complete and utter fumble for a girl that I like. And a situation that's even worse is fumbling for a girl that you don't even like. This is that story. There are very few things on God's green earth that should be allowed to tear you and your friend apart. Having a friend that's there for you unconditionally is just about the most awesome thing in the world. Me and my friend used to spend all day every day doing the craziest and most dangerous shit. You know those days when you come back inside and you're still on cloud 9 from all the crazy shit you and your friend were doing, and then your parents like, oh, looks like somebody had a good day outside with their friend, and in your head you're just thinking, she is going to be so mad when she finds out we just shat on our neighbor's doorstep. Sleepovers were especially fun. I remember those days sitting with my friend, watching the TV's glorious transition as it dawned from Cartoon Network to Adult Swim, feeling like I was doing something bad. Can you imagine if we had Rick and Morty back then? We'd be f***ing geniuses by now. So one day I go over to my friend Davion's backyard, and my guy is outside just straight up throwing punches at absolutely nothing. He's waxing on, he's waxing off. He's like got perfect form right now, but like it's being wasted because he's just punching the air. Why is he doing this? Like, we need somebody's face behind this. I automatically assume that he's in some kind of trouble and he's probably training for it. My guy, exactly what are you doing right now? Huh? Oh, hey man. Just shadowboxing. Oh, hey man, just shadowboxing. Nigga, what are you shadowboxing for? He then drops his smile and gets super serious. And from the look on his face, I already get the assumption that whatever he's about to tell me is going to be super important to him. So he goes, now if I tell you, you have to come with me because I cannot risk getting caught. Anyone who knows about it has to be there. It's mandatory. I am instantly like, okay nigga, who are we fighting? And how badly do you want their face smashed in? Yo, hearing that sentence as a kid automatically sounds like the coolest thing in the world is about to take place, and I will be damned if I'm gonna miss it. But Just simply put, I should not have gone to this thing. I should not have gone. Girls from the hood can be the most beautiful people on the planet, but they can also be the fucking worst. And we've all grown up knowing at least one girl that acts exactly like this. Her name was Irene, and she was abysmally gross, my guy. And we all know this girl, right? She likes to stand outside all day, holding up the sky with her equally gross and underdressed friends. She's gotta hit you with a before and after every sentence. She's always eating hot Cheetos, but she's usually eating them with a fork because, oh, they got cheese on them and I don't want to fuck up my nails. Come every single party that got thrown in the hood, she was usually found in the back dancing on at least 5 guys. Now, I'm not talking about the burger restaurant, but she did like to take everyone's beef. For all I know, this is hereditary though, because her mom was the queen of disgustingness. 3 times the age and thotting around at least 3 times a day, she was able to rack up on much hate in our community for cheating with taken men. I would say if you look closely, you'd find that at least 80% of our neighborhood's drama was centered around this girl and her mom. My older sister even had to put the pause on this girl on multiple occasions because she has a big all-inclusive mouth and she doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Well, she's having a competition to decide who's gonna be her new boyfriend. What is this foolishness coming out of your face right now? See, I already knew you were gonna be judgmental about it. If you're allowed to do something stupid, then I'm allowed to tell you that it's stupid. So at this point, he starts trying to explain to me how the competition is gonna go. There are 3 areas that you could compete in order to demonstrate your value. Push-ups, slapboxing, and a foot race. If you're able to succeed in the first 2 areas, then it betters your chances of being picked when she gets to the last area. And get me, she did crazy shit for attention back in the day, but never anything this freaking stupid. I'm like, hold on, back up. You're telling me that this is for the Irene that was caught giving up in the bathroom, right? That's the one? He's freaking owning it right now. He's proud of this, that this is a decision that he's actively choosing to make. You've got to be kidding me, dude. There is no way you're going to willingly thrust yourself into a competition with all of this girl's simps in order to compete for a girl's lips that have most likely been passed around like a bowl of mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. So he goes back to shadowboxing like I haven't just said shit to him. I'm pleading with him in the background for the sake of our friendship. Don't do this. Dude, you're my friend. And I know we're just a bunch of thirsty kids, but we're not desperate enough to put ourselves in situations like these for the not so grand role of being a boyfriend of someone like her. If you decide you want to go, then that's fine, but there is no way in hell I'm sneaking out of my house tonight to go with you. So late at night, I'm sneaking out of my house so I can go with him. I got dressed, stuffed some clothes in my bed so that nobody gets suspicious, and I set my Teen Titans stopwatch to have me back at home in about 3 hours. If anyone's seen my previous videos, you know that this Teen Titans stopwatch is essential for doing bad kid stuff. After that, I creep from my bed over to my window, and I slowly slide the glass up and position myself outside the ledge. My adrenaline is pumping at this point, especially when I let go of the ledge and jump down into the bushes. But it was like a 3-foot drop, so I was probably just We start walking across the street and to the big ass field where this thing is being held, and the further away I get from my house, the less inclined I feel to actually go through with this. Reason being is there's this one guy who's several times gone out of his way to try and fight me in public. His name was Kevon, but for the remainder of this video, we're going to call him Idiot Face. No matter what event was going on, he was usually there and usually trying to fight me. Now, the reason he said he hated me so much had nothing to do with me. It had to do with something that my sister had said to him. But because we lived in a time where it was just inappropriate to hit women, even if they were to literally walk up to you and shoot you in the face, he openly admitted that he wanted to take his frustrations out on me, which ranked very, very highly on my list of what it means to be an absolute fucking p***y-ass bitch. I knew for a fact that if I showed up, he would more than likely be looking for an excuse to fight me. So we've got people stretching, swapping Gatorades, she's sitting in her chair in the middle of the field just loving the attention, and of course, the worst simp of all was there. So I go over and sit somewhere in the field so I'm not in the way, and wouldn't you know it, Idiot Face decides he's gonna stretch right next to me to assert some kind of BS dominance. Swear to God, one of these days I'm gonna punch you right in the Before you know it, hats are off, everyone's racing, and most of these guys suck viciously. My friend and Idiot Face are in the lead. They're just about evenly matched, heel to heel, toe to toe. But of course, Idiot Face can't have that and starts pushing and taunting Davion. And does she say anything about the fact that he just obviously the rules? Of course not, because that would just make way too much sense to be the case. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know where the hell this whole competition is going, but to make matters worse, he's even cheating during push-ups, he's calling people out for having the wrong form and getting them disqualified by her, essentially being self-proclaimed proctor of the entire damn competition. And when he calls you out, God forbid you say anything about it, because then he'll just threaten to tell your parents that you snuck out to this event in the first place. And it's fairly obvious to me at this point that this entire thing is rigged, because not only was he bumping into my friend during the race, he is the only one with the incorrect form while doing push-ups, and she has not said a thing to him. He stops what he's doing, and he calmly walks across the field to where she's sitting, and whispers in her ear. These guys are getting really buddy-buddy. After this nigga says whatever he just said in her ear, he points over to me and she looks. Now what they did next had me shooting adrenaline straight from my asshole into my heart. There is nothing worse than seeing two of the people you hate the most work together. Something was off. That goes without saying. She walks over to me. She's not even keeping track of the guys still doing push-ups and sweating their hearts out for her crazy-ass competition.
Now what the heck does she want?
So, you don't want to compete?
No, not really.
What? You think you're too good for me?
You're just not the kind of girl I'm after. Not interested. Besides, I only came for support.
Oh, so you think I'm ugly?
So one guy says no to you and you jump to being ugly? That's kind of pathetic.
Then what's the problem?
This competition, that's the problem. You got all these guys here for no reason, way past curfew, for a 30% chance at winning you over. Not only have you looped in my worst enemy, but my best friend. He's better than this whole competition.
So you think I'm here wasting people's time? Not even close.
Oh yeah? Not even close? Okay, tell me why my guy's in the background pacing like he's getting ready for a fight. Tell me why you think I'm so dumb that I wouldn't know that boxing is the next part of the activity, and that he's definitely gonna take it too far. And no matter how hard the other contestants have been working, you guys have just been making it seem like it's about me and him. Brody, she tries desperately to get me to compete for another minute or so. After she realizes that it's probably not gonna work on me... Huh?
I know you want to do this, baby. Kiss me and I'll show you.
Like I said, no thanks.
Be gone!
What? You thought all it would take was for you to touch me and get really close to my face and my heart would just be beating out of its chest for you? When I smell your breath, all I smell are the 1,000 guys that you've been with before me. No. I am not a fan of used goods. I don't care how angry it makes you. I don't care that you have lighter skin than most of the dark girls you hung around. I think black is beautiful. I don't care that you had straighter hair than them. Nappy makes me happy. And I don't care that you developed boobs more than all the girls around you. Flat is where it's at. And the fact that you only came over here and started doing all that after he whispered something in your ear, like it's obviously a ploy to get me to fight this guy, which is what he really wants. If I'm fighting on behalf of a friend, then that's fine, but if I'm fighting just because some guy really wants to do it, then no, I'm not doing it. But little did I know, I no longer had a say in the matter. Idiot Face has been watching her fail to get me interested in the competition the whole time, and now, he's a little impatient. Bro, you and me, we're gonna fight right now, let's go. I don't care about none of the shit you have to say. I don't think anyone's ever wanted something as badly as he wants it right now. Guy's getting super hyped and like putting his hands on me to try to incite some kind of a violent reaction from me. I'm like,
bro, we've got a whole competition going on right now. It would be pointless for us to fight.
He is trying to hear none of it. Nah, nigga, me and you right now.
Why though? I've never done anything to you.
I am so fucking sick of you trying to avoid fighting me.
Just answer me.
But the look he gave me told me everything I needed to know. He didn't have a decent reason for wanting to fight me in the first place. His reasoning doesn't involve me, and it just about barely even involves my sister. And it definitely was not for Irene. He was only doing this because he had a point to prove. Either to himself, his friends, or his dad, whoever the hell else. When I was younger, I always looked significantly older than I actually was, mainly because of my height, and as a result, quite often, When people first met me, they'd be really afraid of me, until they realized I'm not a fighter. Now, one of three things would happen after they made this sudden realization. They'd either become my friend, or they'd try and tell me I should play basketball, but more often than not, they would try and fight me. Mainly because they'd want to collect the trophy for having taken down the biggest guy in their grade. And as far as I know, this shit is actually a pandemic because most of the taller people that I know are not fighters. They just kind of feel like they have to be because people keep f***ing testing them all the time. The only people I know that are genuinely fighters are short people because they have so much of a f***ing point to prove. Like, goddamn, nobody cares. Point being, I understood what he was trying to do. And part of me actually wanted him to win, because then if he won, this shit would be over, and he would never be in my face talking about this again. Oh, shut up. Cut it out with this sentimental bullshit.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not seriously gonna give up on a fight that you know you could win, right? You can be just as much of a fighter and just as much of an asshole as this kid. Exactly what rule dictates that you should take a loss for him?
I don't want to hurt people, or get hurt.
How is that fair when somebody like him gets
I don't want to be like him.
Look, kid, I don't exactly want to spoil what life has in store for us, but this is actually one of the last few lessons that our mom got to teach us. And I do hate to say it, but I need you to become a little bit like him so that I can become a lot like her later.
Something's gonna happen to our mom?
Just let me worry about that. The only thing you need to do is punch this kid in his face. And you know damn well you want to do it. You've imagined yourself in this scenario many times, dealing with little snot-nosed bitches like him your whole life, dancing on a road paved and uplifted by idiots. You're the one that needs to be afraid of him? I say screw that. It's time to burn that little ego of his.
What if I can't?
That's not an option. Try harder than your best. Mom will not accept failure.
I really don't understand why you'd want to fight.
Boom! I catch Brody off guard mid-sentence with the sweetest punch in the face. He falls down to the ground and I'm standing over him. Everybody starts to surround us. My boy looks shook.
What the hell are you doing down there? Get the hell up. You can't make good on your word from the ground. Unless you were just putting on a show.
He stands up and hats are off. We are boxing. He grabs my neck, pushes me back, and delivers the hardest punch he could to my chest.
Brody. Even my mom hits harder than you.
Like, the crowd is going wild, adrenaline is pumping, but at the same time, the more confident that I act, the more it throws him off his game. After a while of him mainly playing defense, he decides he needs an advantage, so he tackles me down to the ground. Fine, I don't pick the ballroom, I just dance in it. So we're down there tussling and rolling around no homo. We're on the ground wrestling, until suddenly Irene calls out.
Guys, stop! Someone's coming!
We look off into the distance. We can see two silhouettes walking towards the group, and everybody's looking around at each other all of a sudden like we can all feel each other's ass whoopings coming. And just like that, the fight's over, bro. Like, we're not trying to get caught here by anyone's parents. I grab my stupid, naive friend, and we both started running home. I was pretty hurt because back during the fight, when I got tackled, I ended up landing on a stick or something.
Damn it, ow.
You okay, dog?
I'm fine. No thanks to you.
When Irene was about to kiss you, you pushed her away.
You still gonna defend her?
Not that. It's just, she did the same thing to me before at school. Honestly, that's kind of why I started to like her.
Hey man, I didn't want to go to this dumb shit in the first place. It's not my fault she did that.
That's fine, but I kind of get what you mean now. It doesn't feel good watching her be able to give that kind of attention to any boy at any time. To make things worse, you got hurt. That guy was a butthole for trying to fight you. Sorry I got you into this mess, bro. Friends?
Yeah, man. Friends.
Maybe some of you guys remember what I said at the beginning of the first video, but if you don't, I'll reiterate for you. There are very few things on God's green earth that should be allowed to tear you and your friend apart. And there are even fewer things that we wouldn't do for our friends. We'll show up to things that we don't want to show up to, fight people that we don't want to fight. We'll even punch a thought right in her face. But if you learned anything from this video, the most important moral that you need to take away isn't friendship. I feel like that already goes without saying. The most important thing to take away from this story right here If your kids are weak, you need to beat on them to make them strong. You're not understanding the theme of this video so far is that girls can get you in trouble, especially when they're pretty. But what kills me is sometimes, in order for a girl to get you in trouble, she doesn't even have to be a girl that you're attracted to in the slightest. Sometimes they can have everything going on for them in terms of looks, but in terms of personality, they look like Shrek. Believe it or not, this crazy ass story actually happened on one of the slowest days that I had ever experienced, working for the coffee shop that shouldn't and will never be named in my videos because I don't want to get sued. Throughout the day, we had been trying to do things to keep ourselves busy so that we didn't get too bored. And for those of you who know which coffee shop I worked at in particular, you might be wondering exactly why the hell did this place of all places have no customers coming in. I mean, after all, it is one of the most profitable businesses in America. And that's because around that time, it was labeled as America's deadliest year. We were in the middle of a global pandemic, aka freaking crisis mode, and nobody wanted to leave their house because they had a fear of getting the Black Plague Part 2. Leaving streets relatively empty. We were so dead as a business, and I had so much time on my hands that I even volunteered to clean the women's bathroom, which for some reason is 10 times grosser than the men's. After I finished wiping down the counter, I look over to my buddy Joshua. I knew I was bored. He knew he was bored. And if you've ever had a coworker like me or Joshua on your shift, you know that there's not a such thing as being bored for a super long time. People like him are like a literal freaking godsend. Me and him would spend hours on shift just goofing off trying to make people laugh. So when he sees me looking at him, I get the strangest idea that our day is about to get a little more interesting. So he gathers everybody in front of the bar. He's like, yo, team meeting. I don't want to sound stupid or nothing, but like, I don't know, we could get a little tipsy and help the time pass by.
I don't know. We're at work right now.
Yeah, we could get fired if we get caught.
But what do you think, True? I'm down if you're down.
I'm down, but like, I'm only down to do it if we're being extremely careful about it because we all could get fired for this.
Good thing our boss isn't here. That lady would be super pissed if she found out.
I'll join, but I won't drink much.
Which, of course, was a completely different tune than what she would actually go on to do. You see, Charlotte was your basic Florida girl. In fact, this story time takes place when I used to live in Florida, and everybody lived every single day of their lives like it was a party. They all cash at me some money for the drink run, which brings us to about $80 to blow on drinks. Cause for some reason it was my job to secure the alcohol, and against my will, Charlotte insists that she be the one to come with me because she knows more about alcohol and I don't. Which I'm not gonna deny, at the time I was a relatively new drinker. But oh my god, did I not want this girl to come with me in the first place. Charlotte had a little bit of a history of being super lewd towards me in the workplace, so being in any confined space with her for more than 3 minutes drove me crazy. We get to the store eventually and I give her my card. I let her know that her limit is $80, and if she goes over that limit, the only thing that's going to be coming back to the store with me are her teeth. So she gets all the drinks and we're leaving when I ask her, just curious, why all these drinks specifically?
Trust me, these go down easier since you don't drink a lot. And they're easier to mistake for juice or water, you know, in case a boss or a customer walks in.
Which was actually a really cool move on her part, not gonna lie. It is really sweet that she would center everything that we drink around that night around the premise that I don't drink and I don't like the taste of alcohol that much. She wanted to make sure I didn't throw up. I appreciate it. Do that kind of stuff for your friends, man. You guys suck. I've been out drinking with people and I've woke up in a pool of my own vomit, completely alone. That's really sweet of you.
Thanks! Now, the trick is gonna be getting this into the store without being seen.
You know, actually, I do have a bag in my car from when I used to do Uber Eats and Postmates. It's black and nobody can see through it, so no one's gonna know what we're bringing into the store. Granted, we did go out to have a good time. I totally get that. But can anybody tell me why this girl decides that what she's gonna do is open alcohol and start drinking immediately? Now, we've been in the car for all of 7 seconds, and mind you, do you know how much trouble you can get in for having open alcohol containers in your car? If a cop pulls you over and sees that, you will get arrested and go to prison. Actually, wait, no, I think you'll probably just get a ticket. She is in the passenger seat drinking like a fish right now. I'm like, bro, it's alcohol. It cannot taste that good for you to be drinking it like that.
No, it's easy. It tastes like sparkling water. I'm gonna give you one. I want you to try and down this whole can.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I still have to drive us back to the store. So, you know, I'm not really sure if that...
It's like right down the block and it's one can.
I hate to say it, but I folded. I was thinking it's only one can, so what's the worst that could happen? Alcohol usually tastes like shit, but for some reason this time, it wasn't half bad. And now I've been drinking White Claw ever since, which is a drink that is universally hated by many people, but I don't care, it tastes good. So we pull off and start heading back to work. I look over at her, and she is still drinking. Bro, didn't she say that she wasn't even gonna drink a lot? She's gonna be drunk before we even get to the store. We get like outside the store and I'm grabbing the alcohol to put into my delivery bag. And she's already blown through half of one of the cases. Charlotte, are you drunk right now?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It tastes so good. It makes it kinda easy to drink them.
I'm not even trying to party poop at this point. We didn't buy a bunch of alcohol for her not to drink, so I'm not gonna get super upset that she is drunk. But Brody, time and place. I open the car door and I start bagging all the stuff that we bought. We start walking towards the building and I notice that Charlotte is not walking towards the building. She is stumbling towards the building. I immediately put my hands on her shoulders and walk her in a straight line, reminding her, you need to keep it together until we're inside the building. I managed to get her inside safely, give Joshua the bag, and he looks at the stuff we brought with the most devious look on his face. He knew what he was about to go in there and do. Extra spiked lemonade. Who wants to get wasted? He hands me a cup and I take one sip from that thing. I'm at the That was delicious. So at this point, everyone is drinking, and I'm already feeling tipsy. The girls turned on some music and started dancing. I just feel myself losing it a little bit more. Yo, I'm about to become real useless real soon. I need to start doing some work while I still can. So I like wobble my way over to the cups in a really sad attempt to restock. I mean, I think I'm doing fine at this point, but before I know it, the cups are all over the ground. Melissa and Charlotte are in the corner just freaking clowning me right now. That's exactly what are you guys laughing at?
Oh, it's nothing. Just keep doing your thing.
We all stopped what we were doing immediately. The girls turned off the music and we were all just focused on the tapping of the door. With only a little over an hour until close, who could be knocking at this time? We all felt like we knew the answer, but all of us were too afraid to say anything. What if it was a customer? What if it wasn't? And if it's not a customer, there's only one person it could be. The boss. We couldn't stand around staring at each other waiting to be rescued forever. The room starts to fill itself with excuses.
I've been drinking a lot. I can't.
I don't care if it's a customer or the boss. I'm also too drunk.
Brody, I spilled the fucking cups. Don't look at me. I can't do anything right now. Relax, I'll do it myself. He walks away to prepare himself to open the door. I do a quick scan to make sure there's no alcohol left out. I give him the signal, and then I went back to restocking. Hello, how are you, sir? What can I get for you? Sorry. The customer orders a drink and I rush to the back to make it for them. Josh gets the guy's money and the girls find something to pretend to clean, I guess. Whole time I'm back there making the guy's drink, I'm like dropping shit and mixing the ingredients and the customer looks over and asks me, Are you okay? Bro, I'm so okay that it isn't even fair to everybody else because of how okay I am and how okay they're not. Now, I don't know exactly what I said, but it was something really dumb along those lines. I mean, I was expecting to have fully failed after saying that, but he just looked at me and said, huh, I kinda like that. After I give the guy his drink and he leaves the store, we spend the next 20 minutes just laughing and drinking some more, while my coworkers point out the sheer absurdity in what I said to him. We've already locked up the building at this point and we only have about 3 minutes until we have to leave.
Guys, I'm having so much fun. I kinda don't wanna go home.
So we all agreed to go to a local bar after work. The only hiccup being is that Melissa and Charlotte do not have cars, which wouldn't usually be a problem, but Charlotte is still at least a little bit tipsy at this point. If we're alone and she flirts with me while we're sober, then you can bet your sweet ass she's gonna be trying to flirt with me while we're the only two people in my car. But I couldn't exactly just leave without her, cause she needs to come with me to be a good friend. claiming that she's been sensing some kind of romantic energy between Joshua and Melissa and wants to give them some alone time on the way there. I am many things, a degenerate being one of them, but I'm no cockblock. We're in my car and the bar is like 10 minutes away. I'm starting to come down. I'm not really drunk anymore at this point, so I figured she wouldn't be drunk either since all the alcohol is in Josh's car. I'm like, alright, say less. This is going to be a normal ass car ride, no curveballs, no nothing. And I get to enjoy that piece for all of about 15 seconds, until my ears are cursed, of course, with the crisp sound of... Bro, tell me why Charlotte is still drinking. Brody, give yourself a break. So I tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna move the car. Driving once with open alcohol in the car is an issue. Driving twice with open alcohol in the car is a problem. I need to come down after spending a significant part of my day being intoxicated. So we're gonna sit here for a little while, okay? Like, bitch, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you right now? I mean, at this point, I'm hoping that at the very least I can get her to play a little follow the leader with me on this one. Or that she'll finish that last White Claw before we take off.
So, like, are you dating anyone right now?
Thanks for asking. Yes, I am.
You're gonna end up cheating on her.
What?
You're gonna end up doing what boys do. You're gonna get drunk one day and go out with a girl and completely forget about her. Trust me, guys do it all the time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to miss me with that because I really don't see that happening.
Who knows? You might end up cheating tonight.
Like I said, somehow I really don't see that happening.
Oh yeah? Joshua told me you're a food guy? What do you think of this?
She takes off her shoes and her socks and puts her feet on my dashboard right in front of me.
You can touch them if you like.
Yo, who the f*** raised you? Charlotte, you must be more drunk than I thought if you think I'm gonna touch your nasty, sweaty feet after a 7-hour shift of you wearing the same shoes. If you're gonna try and manipulate me, at least be subtle about it. Why would you outwardly tell me that your goal is to get me to cheat on my girlfriend? I mean, I honestly gotta know at this point, are you crazy or just stupid? Needless to say, I dropped her off at the bar with our friends and drove straight home. And do you want to know the first person that I told about this experience? That's right, you guessed it, my girlfriend. And do you know who is the main reason that I don't work at that company anymore? That's right, you guessed it again, Charlotte. I sure hope you guys learned from that trail of disgusting, horrible stories. There are probably going to be a lot more on this channel, but I feel like those ones really highlight what to expect going forward into this new year. If you guys have ever been in a situation like this, please let me know in the comment section down below. And also, as a favor from you to me, try and keep a clear head. Don't let anybody's looks or perceived levels of attractiveness distract you from your goal in life. Stay true to yourself. Have a fantastic week.